Awesome. So we are recording. This is the orientation call. I'm going to bump this out to the Facebook page. This is for everybody who is new to joining the Good Food Network this month. So I want to, there we go. Give me one moment. Hopefully it will work. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Share to my page. Going live. Usually when it says, okay, good, it's working, I believe. We're going to go with the fact that it's bumping out to the Facebook page. I don't know these things. Hi, welcome to today's session. I am your holistic nutrition practitioner. My name is Lucas Simmons. I still have my braids from Halloween last night because I dressed up as Wednesday Adam and my kiddo did my braids and I just don't want to take them out. Good morning and welcome to today's orientation session. I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner. My name is Lucas Simmons. I've been doing this since 2014 and I love what I do. And the goal for me is to empower people to know that there's stuff they can do on their day-to-day to help mitigate what's going on, to help support good health, to help support good brain health, and overall functionality so that you can shine your light in this world. Because good Lord, we need you, honey. So today's objective is to give you a rundown on what you can expect in the Good Food Network. I do one of these on the first of every month or the first Monday if the first falls on a weekend. And it is to give you an overview of what you can expect in the network this month. Some people might be here for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're new to the network and you want to find out how to navigate and where to find things. You'll get your bits in this video. This can also serve as a place for people to figure out if the Good Food Network is actually for them. So one thing I'm going to say before we get started, the Good Food Network has a lot of stuff in it. And I'm not sorry. I probably have blueberries in my teeth. I had blueberries for breakfast. Anyway, the Good Food Network has a lot of stuff. So I want you to think of this in two ways. First off, it's a buffet. When you go to the buffet, do you eat everything under the glass? No. If you're going with a group of 10, how many different plates are there at the table of goods from under the glass? There are 10 different arrangements of things from the buffet. So it's a buffet. I want you to choose what works for you. I want you to prioritize what will be in your best interest to make time for in this calendar month. I'll show you, I've got tools to help you figure that piece out and to prioritize things. I will also take a moment today to highlight which parts of the network you really need to make time for. Now, second of all, one of the other good ways to make your membership count, I'm going to say if you can invest 1 hour a week into the network, I think you'll find you're getting good value. If you're not able to afford 1 hour a week, say always at the same time, I don't know, Saturday at 9 a.m. That's when you dive into the network and you print things up and you get into some of the content every Saturday at 9 a.m. Or maybe Tuesday nights, you're planning to do this at 7 o'clock. After supper and the dishes are done, every Tuesday night, you're going to commit to an hour for yourself of diving into the content in the network. That's how you make this work. So plan to do at least 1 hour a week. You can absolutely go to 2 hours a week if you wanted to, especially if you're trying to actively figure out what's going on and for yourself and what are going to be some of those pieces to put in place. And I'll talk about how to do that. So first, I want to say welcome to here. If you have any questions, whether you're watching on the Zoom call, if you're watching on the Facebook live stream, or if you're catching afterwards where it's posted either on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, there's a capacity to drop comments or questions. So I encourage you to drop those either in the chat below or the comments section, wherever you are. And then I get a notice of it, so I'll get your questions answered. Because if there's nothing else, this is to clarify things and to make it be a successful venture for you and for me. because there's a lot of work that goes into this. Okay, I want to start first by sharing screen. So we're going to go to, just before we do that, give me one moment. Okay, so I'm going to share screen because I'm going to take you through what is in the network. So first things first, if you're curious about the Good Food Network, I should make a note of this. I will plan to drop a link to the Good Food Network and how to join and where to find all of the info in and around wherever this video is hosting that you're watching. But I'll tell you on my website, lucasimmons.com is just my name. It's easy. Click on live group classes. And there it is, the first one. It says September 1st. Part of it is because it's an ongoing membership kind of deal. So it will always be at the top. So lots of information in here if ever you want to read. Then if you want to go back and visit what is some of this content that's featured in this month, then you've got it all written out here. You can click through the images and it gives you a rundown. If you want to know more about the whole network, you click on this button and it takes you to a really long page. I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this, scroll on down to this button. It's not a button, it's an image. How do I know if the Good Food Network might be a good fit for me? You're going to have a bunch of questions here. If you say yes to at least one, Good Food Network will be a good place for you. Under there, we've got, how do I know if the Good Food Network might not be right for me at this time? This is where you're going to find some more questions. And if you say, oh, actually, that's me, then the Good Food Network may not be a good place for you at this time. Lots of different information down at the bottom, all of the different moving parts. You get a 7-day free trial when you first sign up, no questions asked. If at the end of 7 days, you're like, wasn't for me, and you took the whole 7 days to print everything up from it, I don't care. I want you to feel better, so whatever. But come on into the network at any point, you get a 7-day free trial. If you don't like what you see, I reimburse you by the end of the week if you request it. Okay. So let's get into the network. So first things first, when people get into where the network is hosted, it is as a program. So here it's called Good Food Network. You click on it under My Programs and all of your modules are here. So we're going to go through it bit by bit. So every module starts with Start Here Kitten, which is orientation, I suppose, learning how to navigate the hub kind of thing. But here, I want to show you all of the different moving parts for November. So in November, our main topic is going to be hormones. We've got a schedule of the live sessions. Now, just a refresher, the Good Food Network has 3 components. It has live sessions. Most of them have a replay available. There's also pre-recorded sessions. So think of it as a streaming service like, Disney Plus or I don't know, Netflix or something, or Crave, like those kinds of things where you can go in and watch it whenever you want, and off you go to the races. The third component are just written modules, things like recipes, for example. You don't need to remember all of this. It's all laid out in the network, but just to give you a sense of how these things are organized and where you might find the piece you're looking for, that will help you find your way. So here's your schedule. The specifics this month, we've got a class on estrogen balancing. Those who are in the network will have access to it for free. Those who want to only attend estrogen balancing class it's a $30 charge for that. There is also a histamine meetup. So anybody who struggles with histamine issues, we meet in the 4th Wednesday of every month, and we kvetch and we talk about things and we come up with solutions and help share our stories so that we don't feel so alone, because histamine things feels very much alone in the corner. Now, in addition to this, every Tuesday, there's a weekly office hours. I always send out a request. Hey, do you have anything you want to cover? The weekly office hours are live. So you can join us live if you wish. Take your lunch break at 12 on Thursdays, Alberta time, and plan to come in and sit in. That way you get to ask all of the questions you wish. You can send them beforehand if you wish as well. For example, I had somebody who had a question about, well, hang on, liver is really toxic in vitamin A, isn't it? So then that was the question, and it took us 20 minutes to debunk it, but that was the topic of a weekly office hours in the month of October. So you can bring any questions you've got. For example, if you're going through some of the recorded classes and you say, well, I don't understand this piece, pop it in the questions or send it to me. There's, you know how to do it once you're in the network. Then that's what we bring up in the weekly office hours. For those who can't join us live, then there is a recorded version available afterwards once I've uploaded it. In addition, every Thursday morning at 7 a.m., bring your coffee cup, bring your breakfast, bring your eggs, whatever you're having for breakfast that day. Come and join me at 7 a.m. Replay, of course, available for those who can't come join live. But we do a 15-20-minute session on food as medicine. These were the old Tuesday lives I used to host. So here we have a different topic every week, and it is linked into the main topic of the month. So for the month of November, we're going to be talking this first Thursday this week, stress and the impact on hormones. Every one of these sessions has 3 things you can do, so it has practical information. Then the second one is the curious link between low energy and hormones. P.S. Thyroid. Third week, top 3 foods for hormones. And we're going to get into it for 3 different pieces of your hormone system. So we'll do adrenals, we will do thyroid, and whatever else is kind of a hot topic over the course of the month, or things that people are struggling with or questioning about, then I'll make sure that that is part of that discussion that day. Our last Thursday Food as Medicine series is going to be on the hormone melatonin and why she is the queen bee of all hormones. So that is your schedule for the month of those live sessions. So you can either just check back here or you can print this one. This has the ability to be printable, which is nice. Takes a while to load up. So there you go. Now below that, we have a checklist. So I find that people are a little bit overwhelmed when they first come into the Good Food Network that first month, because it feels there's just so many pieces to learn how it works. I've put everything under the checklist. There is a visual one here, or you can download a PDF version and print it up for yourself and use it as a checklist. And I like to say, the start of the month, print this up. And when you're ready, dive in, scratch out the ones you're not going to do. Highlight the ones you want to focus on for sure. So for example, your checklist for the month of November, check out this month's schedule and print it. The main topic is hormones. There's a module on hormones. Perhaps you want to read that one. Maybe that's overwhelming for you. Scratch it out if that's the case. We've got 3 classes on demand that you can take your time and watch whenever you want over the course of the month. The first one, we're talking about stocking your fridge and freezer, how to shop at the grocery store. We've got handouts, recipes based on all of this content, a couple of videos with that. There's a 2-hour vitality sleep class. If there's nothing else you do in the network this month, this class on its own is $50. The network is $100 for the month. So this is worth half of the network cost already. So this is really an important component this month in the network. If there's nothing else you do, I highly recommend you check out the vitality sleep class. You can print out handouts. There's lots of recipes in there as well. Then the third on-demand video, or you can watch streaming whenever you want, is a scratch cooking class where we cook in the kitchen. And this month we're doing foods that fuel. So this is all about when to optimize the protein and why you need carbohydrates for workout, and why Gatorade's going to kill you. And alternatives. Of course, alternatives. And also I'll point out that this ends up giving you some really great breakfast ideas, this whole class. So this is a scratch cooking class where every month we're doing cooking from scratch and a different topic every month. This one's pre-recorded. You just watch it when you want. It's about an hour and a half long. This in and of itself is $150 BS. All right, on Thursday mornings, every Thursday, we've got a different topic. I just spoke on those. So there's a replay available afterwards. We've got a live class this month is happening on, that's November. That's the wrong date. So I'll have to go in. Thank you, Luca. And I'm going to have to change that to the 7th or the 8th. Pardon me. No, the 9th. November 9th. We're doing estrogen balancing. So if you struggle with estrogen, this is a class you want to attend if you're in the network. Make sure you print up the recipes of the month. And then we've got eating with the seasons handouts. And these are recipes to go with the fall season. We've got all of our weekly office hours every Tuesday and that histamine meetup on the Wednesday, the 23rd. So your deal, once you first get into the network, is to print this puppy up, cross out the ones you don't want to do, highlight the ones you want to do, and then plug away at it every week by setting aside that 1 hour. So that is our schedule. So the next piece I wanted to show you, once you're done this schedule, by the way, once you've completed it and you've printed it and you're ready to go, you can just click on complete, by the way. Mark completed. Bing. Oh, that's so satisfying. You can still go back and access it, by the way. You just have to click on the title. So now we're going to go into the module on hormones, because I like to go through this every month in the orientation session, because it gives you an idea if the month in the Good Food Network is going to be for you. So it's a big, all-encompassing topic. Of course, hormones have the potential to impact every single function of the body. Hormones are kind of how your body makes telephone calls for things to happen. You've got lots of different organs in your hormonal function that are included in it, but this is just how your body makes things happen in the body. Who can benefit with nutrition when we're talking about hormones? So here is a list. So you can see it on your screen, but I'll read through them. If you say yes to at least one of these, then I guarantee you, you are going to get some good benefit from joining the network this month. Do you have period troubles? Any kind of period troubles? Heavy bleeding, cramps, moodiness, frequency, lots of spotting, sore breasts. If you've ever been put on the pill to fix your period issues. Yeah, there's a quotation mark around fix. Do you have fertility woes? Are you struggling with estrogen dominance? Or has anybody ever bandied that word about for you? Do you have troubles through perimenopause, menopause itself, or post-menopause? Do you sport a muffin top? I always joke that I have the best one in the city because it's true. So I know this one intimately. Yes. Other things, migraines or headaches? Do you struggle with mood stuff, or maybe it's anxiety? Are you constipated? Friends, I think the majority of constipation issues are not necessarily a lack of fiber, but actually a hormonal piece. Yeah, pooping is a hormonal act. Do you struggle with thyroid stuff? Any kind of thyroid stuff? This is where your metabolic health isn't working well. So things like skin issues, dry skin, acne, rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, hives, there's cracked heels, lots of different things. What about hair thinning? I had a client, sweetheart of a honey. She said, no, I really like actually having thyroid issues because now I haven't had to shave my legs in about 5 years. And while I appreciate the thought and the sentiment, you're supposed to be having hair on your legs. You know, whether you shave it or not is entirely up to you. I get it. But if hair is thinning, your eyebrows typically is where you start to see it. The next one is on your legs. And of course, some of it wanes as we get older. But if it is a persistent problem, now it's a request to check in to see how the body's doing, specifically your thyroid, actually. Do you struggle with brain fog? That's a hormonal piece. Do you have fatigue, low energy? Hormone in nature. Do you have exhaustion? Is it like hit the snooze 10 times before you can finally take the 40 minutes to get out of bed? Yeah, there's a hormonal piece to this. Is your digestion off? Digesting is a hormonal act. Do you struggle with histamine stuff? There is a multitude of hormonal function wrapped into things when histamine is an issue. Progesterone specifically. Adrenal fatigue. Oh man, that maybe should have made its way to the top of the list. Adrenal fatigue is all hormonal function, and hormonal function that's been working hard for a long time. Do you struggle with sleep? Sleep is a hormonal act. If you struggle with sleep, doesn't matter if it's falling asleep, if it's staying asleep, if you're not rested when you wake up, if you grind your teeth, if you snore, there are potentially lots of hormonal pieces. Peeing in the middle of the night is also a hormonal function. So if you struggle with any of that, then this month in the network, I think you'll find lots of good things to get started. Do you struggle with insomnia? Same thing. If you have lots of stress going on in your life, which was the topic in October in the network, but if you have a lot of stress going on in your body, that is a potential of throwing your hormones off. And so this month in the network, you're going to start focusing on some of that hormonal act when it comes to the burden of stress. So these are all indicators. If you've said yes to any of the things we've just mentioned, these are all indicators that your hormones are working hard and that they are requesting assistance. Okay. We can look at it at another way too. So think of this, if metabolic stuff is not working. So the metabolic stuff, I want you to think there's this social media account called Real Food Gangstas, and they are holistic nutrition practitioners, similar to what I do, a little bit more functional. They're so funny also, PS, but they talk about metabolic health as being happy, healthy, horny. There's like 5 of them, I forget, because I always get caught on horny. But the whole, anything that takes an energetic output that uses energy in the body is a metabolic function. So being happy is a metabolic function. Being healthy is a metabolic function. Yeah, your immune system has a lot of metabolism involved in it. Being horny, the whole want to dance with yourself or your partner, totally a metabolic function. Being a healthy weight is also totally a metabolic function, and having good energy for the day and not waxing and waning as the day goes on is totally metabolic function. So think about this. Anywhere anything's not working in metabolism, add on any stress going on, whether it's stress from the outside world, stress of something not working well in the body, like a chronic disease, for example. Any autoimmune conditions, add to that. Any histamine stuff, pile it on. Any mast cell stuff. I tend to see quite a few people who have mast cell activation issues, whether or not they know, doesn't matter. We sort of figure that piece out. If you have any kind of low-grade inflammation going on, all of these added up together are a request or a love letter to you saying, hey, your hormones are working hard and they need some assistance. So then the work becomes to flip that around. All the symptoms that we've listed above, the ones where I said, if you say yes at least once, these are the way that your body is telling you that your hormones are working hard and they need assistance. So then the work becomes in going backwards through that second list we went through. So when the body tells us that the hormones are needing of assistance, now we need to support metabolism. We need to reduce the stress in the body on all levels, the external stuff not working well inside, and anything to do with emotional stress as well. Think relationships. We also need to reduce what is driving chronic disease, identify what's at the root. We need to reduce what's contributing to your autoimmune expression. So why do you have autoimmune going on? Then we need to help improve things if you've got histamine or mast cell mediated stuff. Diet is one of the pieces you can do in a short term, but long term, it requires a lot of digging. And we also need to reduce inflammation in the body. So these are all on the docket. And this month in the Good Food Network, there is so much content, not so much thyroid, because I'm going to do a whole month on thyroid in the new year. But there's a lot we can do as a general overview of supporting hormones in the network this month. When you support hormones, you're reducing what's driving chronic disease. You're helping address one of the cornerstones that reduces inflammation. When you reduce inflammation, now you're reducing the symptoms. So if you've got pesky symptoms like cracked heels, like you're hangry at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like hitting snooze button 40 times before you get out of bed, having troubles with sleep, having a hard time digesting, or you poop once a week. Do you know that's anything? If you're pooping less than once a day, you're constipated. And even if once a day is hard to pass and you're like, no, but I pushed myself to do it. If you have to push, honey, it's constipation. And constipation would benefit from hormonal balancing work. And I love nutrition for it because I think it's such a nice, supportive, gentle way to move things slowly. And we cover it all in the network. We cover a lot anyway, your beginning stages and your to-do list. So where do you start? If you're going to join us in the network, I will have a link or in and around where this is hosted so that you can join the network easily. Just click out. But when you join in, join the conversations, especially the live office hours and the estrogen balancing class happening the second week of November. Then you'll see all of this in the module titled Schedule for what's happening when. Use your checklist to make sure you're watching what it is you want to catch, and then you're letting the other pieces go without the overwhelm. Aha, yeah, because it's true. Overwhelm adds to your stress response, which further throws off your hormones. Thanks, Luca. I know I'm nice. So where I think you'll get the most help in the network this month, we've got the Vitality Sleep class. It is in a module in and of itself, so you'll be able to access it there. And then we're doing the burden of stress also on the side for those who want to dig a little bit deeper. That is also potentially available to you. Okay, so that is the main topic this month. I've gone through it. I'm going to mark completed. Good work. I like me a good little checklist. So that is the main topic. So here I'm going to show you what we're doing for food as medicine again. We've got 4 topics. This Thursday, we're doing stress and the impact on hormones. November 10th, we're talking about the curious link between low energy and hormones. Third week, top 3 foods for hormones. And the 4th, melatonin as queen bee. Let's see what else we've got. That's the food as medicine. Here is the live class this month. If you're in the network, you are automatically added into the class. You just have to click on the Zoom link when you get there. That's it. So you get this class for free and you get the replay. Those who join outside will not be able to catch the replay, unfortunately. Only available to those in the network. Pre-recorded content, stocking your fridge and freezer. This whole class, I'm going to show you this class on sleep. I think this is the best part of the network this month. So sleep like a teenager. Yeah. People use the expression, let's get you sleeping like a baby. First of all, have you ever spent a night with a baby in the house? They don't sleep through the night. You want to sleep like a teenager. Yeah, they're sleep champs. Okay. You've got lots of different components here. They're all broken down into shorter video modules so that you can come back and watch in spurts as you need to. Off you go to catch all of these things, your to-do list. It's all broken down into 4, 5, 6-minute segments. There you go, the recipes and a recap. So there are your handouts and your recipes, and no extras this time around. Sometimes there's extra links out for extra information if we say. So lots of good stuff in there. Then the written content, here are your recipes for the month. Let's go through this. In November, you will get a recipe for a carrot raw salad. That's one of the best ways to work at balancing estrogen, for example, and helping do some of that hormonal support at the gut level. There's always going to be a gut piece when there's hormonal stuff at work, but carrot raw salad can be one of those helpers. We've got a cabbage unroll casserole, which is perfect for the season and supportive to hormonal function. We got a miso salmon sheet pan dinner. Who doesn't need an easy weeknight dinner? Toss everything on a sheet pan in the oven, and there you go. We also got seed dust for hormones, which is a low histamine recipe, by the way. Seed dust for hormones is a really nice way to bring in some of those harder to find nutrients. And a butter chai, because we need something delicious. So you've got them all here. Once you're in the network, you can download these and add it to your binder. Ding, ding, ding. And then I just want to go through one last piece. It is eating with the seasons. In December, we're going to be switching this up to winter. So I'll be building the next one for December 1st. This gives you a little rundown on how to think about moving through this content. Handouts and recipes. So a handout here, we've got this module. If you were in the network the last couple of months, you already will have printed this up. There we go. But here, eating with the seasons fall. These are foods to focus on for the fall season. This is, so you've got a list of superfoods, teas and roots and shoots, and we've got herbs and spices as well. The main organ of the season, according to traditional Chinese medicine. the main energy for the season. And in that video up above, I tell you how to use this information and to put it into practice in your day-to-day. 5 things to think about for this fall season. So this gives you pieces on how to support you and your mindset through this current season. As well, there are some recipes. You get a recipe bundle for the fall season. So we've got, oh, seed dust is in there. That's a different version. It's not the low histamine one. There's a bucket of slaw. And then you've got hot and sour pork hocks, which is a really nice start to a full-on hot and sour soup if you want. So there you go. These are all the different components, pardon me, of the network. So I've broken it down. There's kind of the administrative stuff up top. You've got your live sessions bundled together. You got the pre-recorded content or the on-demand content, if you wish. You've got the written content. So once you make your way into the Good Food Network, find your way around. You can't make anything disappear, I'll have you know. If you have any questions about what is on offer this month, please hit me in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If anybody is watching this live on Facebook right now, it's getting bumped out. I don't actually get notice of it until after I wrap up the video. So if you've popped any questions down there, I will answer them as soon as we wrap up the video. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, how do you know you have hormonal imbalance issues? How do you know you need to work on hormonal function? I'll tell you, if you have anything to do with your thyroid, with your sleep, which is governed by the pineal gland, smack dab in the middle of your head. If you struggle with reproductive stuff, anything to do with making babies or getting happy and horny to actually make the babies. Yeah, it's about being human. Jeez. If you struggle with any mood stuff, that is governed by hormonal function. If you struggle with any kind of energy issues, that is a hormonal function. If you struggle with, what else is there? Thyroid, liver. Liver has a lot to do with hormones. It is a hormonal organ, actually. It's part of your endocrine system. She does 400 plus jobs in the body, but she will gather some good info and intel from the network this month. We'll do another month on the liver specifically though. Yeah. How do you know you have hormone balancing issues? Hit me up in the comments below. I'd love to know. In the meantime, look forward to seeing you in the Good Food Network. Come and join. There's a 7-day trial period where if you don't like what you see, you can leave. It's okay. I'll reimburse you 100%. No questions asked. I will also foot the bill myself for the fee of doing that because it cost me about, I think, $15 for me to take you out. So I don't care. Check it out. I want you to feel confident. I really don't think you're going to leave after 7 days, but if you need to, if it's overwhelming, then by all means, I actually want you to support yourself. I will always be on team you. I look forward to seeing you in the Good Food Network. In the meantime, go enjoy the rest of your day, will ya? Salut et à bientôt.